So we're live.
We are live.
We are finally live. It's been a long time coming up to this moment. So this is the number one. Right, Matthew?
That's it. Numero uno.
Solving Success Podcast Beta. So we're still trying to figure out how to do this, or I am
That's right.
at least. Don't know where to look. Do I look at you?
Introduce yourself here to our YouTube members and our podcast listeners.
Vitor Aguiar. A lot of people call me Victor, but I go by my Portuguese and my official name now,
Right.
Vitor Hugo.
On the Portuguese passport.
Exactly. And so been thinking about doing something along these lines for many years now. Kind of like some of my mentors, Joe Rogan, Tim Ferriss, Gary Vee, and I feel like I have a great network of people that we need to meet. And shout out to Rogan, because this actually used to happen on all of his first podcasts, and he used to get pissed off just like I am now.
What? Oh, the phone? Yeah, we gotta mute that. Mute it or just unplug it. Nope. Volume. Turn it all the way down. No, volume bottom. Bottom. Nope. Right there. All the way down. There you go.
So the ringer is off.
Now we're good. Now no interruptions in the phone.
No interruptions right now. We're good. We're good. So, why do I want to do a podcast? I feel like, for me, the idea of success is different for every person. It's different to me. It's different to you.
Yep.
And I feel like everyone has their own way of being successful, becoming successful. Everyone's got their own tricks, their own, favorite books, or just anything. And I feel like we can learn from that. And I want to learn from that. So figured I'd interview people that I admire in certain aspects, and I want to learn from them. So Matthew here is lucky number one. Happens to be my cousin, my relative.
That's
and
right.
I've learned a lot from him. And Matthew, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this sort of genre and this sort of media.
That's right. It's been about 9 years in media.
Wow.
You can follow me on the Matthew Show.
That's true.
Started out doing a commercial for a carpet company.
I remember that.
Running up and down on carpets that went on Omni Television and City TV, and was quite known in the Portuguese community at like 9 years old.
Yes.
Then I went to school and always in media arts and theater, and an opportunity presented itself to be on TV as a correspondent, doing like little commercial segments and community segments. And from there I just got a passion for it, loved it, took it, and became co-host of a national weekend morning show on City TV in Portuguese.
Hey.
Gente Nossa, check it out.
It's like the Portuguese breakfast television.
It is. And then now they call me the Portuguese Ryan Seacrest, or
There
at
we
least that's
are.
what my mom calls me.
Well, I remember you being like 9 years old and us just going to Portuguese events and people just shouting at you the tagline, which was, say it one last time for the
Ninguém
people.
vende mais barato.
Exactly. So which means nobody
For less kind
Exactly.
of thing. Like a nobody, Mel Lastman type of thing.
Of course. So maybe you were that guy.
I'm the Portuguese Mel Lastman. Nobody.
But yeah, so that's Matthew's never been camera shy.
No.
Tell us about that.
You get the butterflies. Like when I first started, I was almost like I always have to act differently. But then I'm like, nobody's watching me behind the camera, right? So it's just me and a camera. So you just gotta roll with that.
Do you ever?
Until you get millions of people watching you at home,
Of
then
course.
that's when you're like, oh, really? You watch the show? Like, it's unreal.
How does it feel talking into a camera?
You just gotta be comfortable. You have to be yourself. You have to know what you're saying. I improv a lot of my stuff, so there's no teleprompter. We're not reading what's up there and like the news or like other shows. So
It's true. I've seen you do it, and I've
Yeah.
seen you do takes in like one shot.
Yeah.
And it's obviously something that you don't do right away. It takes time.
yes, absolutely. It's like practice. Anything with practice, right? And a good thing about a taped show is you can stop, you can redo it, you can think about what you're gonna say, you can prepare, versus going live. But I think the best reporters, best journalists, or entertainment people are those that can just wing it and present on the fly.
and being adaptable.
Adaptable. Is that the right word?
Exactly. Improv.
Adaptive. Yeah.
Anything along those lines. There's never like, no, how we're gonna. It's for Matthew. It's always been, okay, how are we gonna do this? Oh, this broke down. Let's improvise a solution.
Yeah.
There's no freaking out. There's no, let's cancel the show. The show must go on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Even like one time I remember recording and my producer calls me at like almost 9 o'clock at night and said, crap, we had an issue with the microphone. And I'm in my pajamas at home and I'm like, okay, gotta get an Uber, gotta get down there, gotta get it done. Like,
yeah. And that's where making it happen and not taking no for an answer, which kind of leads to my next question. And the people want to know, Matthew, so what exactly do you do? Who is the Matthew Show like on a
the better question, Victor, is what don't I do?
That's true. A man of many talents.
Many talents, many passions, as is on my Instagram page, and how I present myself.
Of course.
Because it's media that I love, it's travel that I love. What else do I love? It's working for a community that I love. I'm really passionate about my Portuguese community, my Portuguese roots.
It's true.
Yeah, there's something going on with this audio because we are peaking like crazy.
Well,
so
maybe I should.
we might have to do a part 2. Let's go to commercial break.
And boom.
Live.
We're live again. So Matthew's just yelling at me for not staying close to the microphone.
That's right.
And the audio levels are going jiggy jiggy cha cha. But my next question for Matthew is your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting reason that you got this job. And I've always admired it.
Which one?
Well, the one that you're doing now as the director.
The executive director position.
Yes, so he's an executive director for?
The Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professionals. It's a pretty long name.
But
FPCBP is our abbreviation, or the Federation as it's also known.
Of course. And when you first told me how you got this job, I was like, it really made me reevaluate myself and how I was going about getting business, my career. So people want to know, how did you do it?
Networking.
Okay.
It's I believe that in business it's all about who you know. Yes, education is important, and yes, we have to have degrees and diplomas and whatnot behind us, but I also think that who you know and what you know will land you your perfect job, or your dream job in this case.
Nice.
Which happened for me. So I was at an event, and I met my boss, who was one of the sponsors of that event, and we ended up talking about the organization, and I had experience behind me in nonprofit, and being in the Portuguese community, who I knew, and I literally got hired on the spot. An opportunity kind of presented itself. I kind of created the position. Who hadn't been there before. And you had to seize the opportunities, and I did, and it's been great.
Of course. So he created a position for himself.
Yeah.
The job did not exist, folks. He literally saw a opportunity there where they needed this position, and they asked me, well, we don't have money to pay you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What was your response?
We can work around that.
There we go.
Yeah. There's always ways.
And mind you, before this happened, Matthew's been volunteering his time in various different organizations, positions, mostly in the Portuguese community. And it all led up to this opportunity. And boom, you created it.
Yeah.
So most people aren't thinking, I mean, like you said, your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
So in 2018, a resume is just not good enough. Everyone's got a degree.
Yeah.
Everyone's smart. But how do you differentiate yourself from that?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what you got to find out. You got to find out what your niche is, and how you can roll with that. How you can use that to your benefit, and volunteer. Yeah, I know people want jobs, who want to get paid, and we all need money to survive in this world. But giving back, I feel like there's a lot of reward in that.
Of course.
I've been doing that since I was 12, giving back in the Portuguese community, and then yes, it all led up to getting a job, doing what I love.
Yeah, exactly. And there's people always trying to hire this guy because of the amount of value he gives. It's not about how much money I'm gonna make. It's, how can I make a difference?
Yeah.
And I see that you only take on projects that obviously are important to you.
Yep.
I've never seen you really do a job just for a paycheck.
No, absolutely. No, I rather lose money and do what I love than the opposite. Yeah.
There we go. There you go. And because this podcast is infamously named Solving Success, what does success mean to you?
That's an interesting question there.
Right? For everyone's different.
Yeah, it's doing what you love. Success is working passionately.
Okay.
And I know people sometimes associate success with wealth, but there's a lot of people that are wealthy that are not successful.
Tell me more about that.
You can have all the money in the world, but if you're doing that job 9 to 5 and you hate it, you're not successful.
There we go. So money is not everything.
No.
And we were talking a little bit off camera about this, how you were talking about freedom. And Matthew is someone that loves to travel.
Yeah.
Always has.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's in the genes.
It's in the genes. Dad's travel agent. Been traveling since I was, born, pretty much.
So you seek out opportunities and created your life so that if you need to travel, you can.
Yeah.
And that you can work anywhere.
Yeah. So what I did with the television show is actually created my own on-location segments. Yep. And people started loving them. So I learned how to operate my own camera, how to operate my own microphones and lighting systems and all that. And I take the camera to go, and anywhere that I am, I film from where I am.
And I've seen that.
Yeah.
Because
you've operated my camera a couple times. Yeah.
We've been on vacation, and Matthew's like, listen, I'm going to set this up. You're going to do this. This is where we're going. We're doing... On the first couple of days of the vacation, he's doing location scouting.
Yes, that's
he's
important.
He's like, okay,
yeah,
so what events are going on?
Yeah, you can't just shoot it. Wherever you are, you got to actually find the right background and, the right day, the right lighting for it.
Knowing what your target audience is, who they are, and kind of how to capture their attention.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, even from there, I've learned how to hold a camera. And it's brilliant to see how, I'm like, Matthew, 3, 2, 1, and camera turns on, light goes green, and he's in the zone.
Red.
Or red, whatever. I'm saying he's
recording button is red, but
yes,
it's a green button.
I see green, he sees green, and he's just boom, 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 which was, it's tough.
Yeah.
But it's obviously you're.
Yeah, I mean, it's not everyone. I don't want to toot my own horn and say I'm the best. No, I'm not. But you have to obviously love what you're doing, be comfortable at it. Practice makes perfect. I mean, I started out very nervous. Oh my God, what am I saying? Am I saying these things right? Am I not? And then you just learn from your mistakes, and then you just perfect yourself. So from what I would like to say is that every episode gets better.
Yeah, and all that TV you watched growing up paid off.
Yeah. And that's how it all started. So speaking fluent Portuguese, I mean, we're learn it from our grandparents at home, but it's not the professional one that you can read, right? You have to study. I didn't go to Portuguese school. I didn't like it. I didn't want to go to Portuguese school on Saturdays when I'm in school all week long.
I did.
Yes, you did. I went, I think, like 2 months, and then I gave up. But I studied. I read the papers. I watched Portuguese TV. I listened to the radio. And then from there, you pick up the vocabulary, the words, and you just kind of mimic it.
And that goes to, our upbringing and, speaking the language at home and, speaking to our grandparents, family members in Portuguese. And I'm happy that I did because... Yeah. My Portuguese is not on his level. Like Matthew can speak to, the Prime Minister of Portugal,
which I will be May 3rd.
There you go. Not to toot his own horn, but I can still have a conversation and I communicate, and that communication aspect is priceless.
And it's important. You don't need and what I tell people all the time, how to speak Portuguese. But practice, speak any kind of Portuguese, any type of accent that you have, because it's so much valuable to have a second language.
It really is, and if you speak Portuguese, not only can you speak to people in Portugal, but there's a whole other country called Brazil, and you can communicate with them.
Portugal is all over the map. We're in Goa, we're in Africa,
and
we're in Brazil. Yeah, we're
But not saying just Portugal. Imagine
Right.
if you can speak Spanish,
Yeah.
French, you know. I guess English is number one, kind
Yeah.
of, but. And so we're gonna.
it's the 5th most popular language in the world is
There.
Portuguese. So there you go. There's the statistics for you.
Portugal. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna ask this question. It's an interesting question because I know the answer to it. What does your morning routine look like? Well,
Typical
everyone's different,
yeah.
right? Some people get up mad early. They're up at 5
I'm
in the
not,
morning.
no. See, I'm opposite.
Okay, let's
I'm
hear
more of a
it.
night owl than a morning
Mhm.
person. Never was a morning person. Always get to school like 5-10 minutes late.
Mhm.
But if I had to stay later, if I had meetings later in the night, like I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
So I continue that routine. But a typical.
You
my
wake
typical
up. What time you wake up?
9 a.m.
Okay. Sometimes.
But yeah, sometimes.
It doesn't matter. I'm just
Okay.
saying. We're just throwing
If
out
I have
there.
nothing to do, or if I have TV stuff to do in the afternoon, then
Fair
I'm up
enough.
at 12.
Which is, as long as you get the work done, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what I live on.
You wake up at 9. What do you do? First
Get ready,
thing.
get out of the house.
Do you look at the
and
phone
then-
first?
Yes, my phone is number one.
Okay, so what do you do? Check email?
Check emails, yeah.
As soon as you wake
Text
up.
messages, calls, voicemails.
In bed.
Yeah.
I mean, I do this as well. I'm trying not to as much because I find myself scrolling on Instagram at 7, 8 in the morning for 20, 30 minutes. And I'm like,
Right.
what the hell? You know? But everyone does it.
Yeah.
We're checking our texts. We're emailing,
Yeah, we get in our news feed. We're checking, what's happening in the news. Is it storm outside?
Mhm.
Check the weather. Know what I'm gonna wear.
And do you know what you're going to do as soon as you wake up?
Yeah, I pretty much plan my day already a day in advance. I'm
Okay.
a planner, so I'm pretty much planned all the way up until October. Like I know what I'm doing.
That's good. Because, not everyone has the plan.
Yeah.
Right? We just, for myself, I like to kind of go with the flow. However, if you fail to prepare to fail. That's what I've read that online.
Okay.
So scheduling, and Matthew's like, okay, what time we podcasting? I'm like, tomorrow night, man.
Yeah.
Like, but what time?
No, I need to know time. I gotta fit it in. I have other things to do. Like I gotta.
Mm-hmm. And it's true, but it's cool to see. And then, and for you, your job never ends.
No. And that's one thing. Even my boss was mentioning. She's like, we can text you at like 1 in the morning and you'll answer us, or you're on vacation in the middle of a beach in Cuba somewhere, but you're checking emails or
Yeah.
constantly because it's how I am.
Yeah.
That's my nature.
Like, I don't get any Instagram messages from Matthew before like midnight. It's like from the 12 to 3 in the clock in the morning. Like, where are you? What the heck? What are you
Yeah.
doing? It's
Yeah.
like, because that's the time he comes alive.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Some of us are night owls. I know I am myself. And
Turn it off, but I guess not.
I guess not.
We'll have to
It's
plug
okay.
it next time.
It's an unknown number. It's
It's okay.
at least we have people to answer it here.
That's true.
And yeah, so it was kind of cool to kind of see how everyone's morning routines are.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee
Yeah. I live on coffee.
before you leave the house?
Two, 3 a day. No. I have a rule. I don't answer my phone, like answer phone calls until I have my coffee. I'll check emails. I don't because I'm either gonna sound groggy or I'm gonna
Okay.
say something without thinking, or I don't know.
What
So I don't
hap-
respond to. I'll read the emails. I'll
Mhm.
read my text, but then I have my coffee to then kind of say, okay, go.
I like this. So
And
it's
then
like
I
that's
can-
the start of your
that's
day.
yeah.
So when the coffee's done,
Yeah.
that's the start. Of your
Oh,
day.
when I have a couple sips, then I'm okay. Now I can answer my phones. Now I can check my emails. I answer
Yeah.
emails properly. I don't know.
So
It's weird.
Yeah, no, I understand it. What if someone calls you and you're sleeping? Do you answer?
Voicemail.
Goes voicemail.
Yeah, and I have a rule with voicemails. They're there for a reason. If it's important, leave a message. Don't just leave a missed call.
Okay.
Pet peeve. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
housekeeping.
Because then you don't know whether to call
I don't know
back.
if it's important, whether I call back, like just or text me, or okay, now, hey, call
Yeah.
me or something like that.
So Matthew is the 1% of people in the world that actually checks their voicemails.
I do, and actually I have to upgrade out of Rogers. I'm like, I need more voicemail space.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you have so many saved.
Yeah.
Interesting. The voicemails. So
Yeah.
leave voicemails.
Yes.
How
You
about
say, hey, call me back, then I know to call you back.
what about
If you say, hey, I called you. You did? Sorry, I can leave a message.
you get a lot of calls?
Yeah.
If it was important, text me.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So growing up, we're talking about, you know, how you became who you are now, successful as you are.
Successful in what I do, yes. Wealthy, that's another story, but
But like you said, you can be wealthy but not successful.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not doing too bad for yourself, but
No,
you know what I mean. Well, who are some of your role models growing up? Who inspires you? It's a tough question, but
It is.
you
I
know-
mean, on television was Ellen DeGeneres. Kind of started out stand-up comedian, and you
Mhm.
know, successful talk show. You know, Oprah Winfrey. Ellen kind of did something nobody did, so that's kind of what I.
of course.
Yeah, that's I don't
So
know.
the people that interviewing, so interviewers, right?
Yeah, and I never saw myself as an interviewer. Never saw myself
Really?
as a journalist. Yeah, absolutely. Even to now, I can have to still ask my producer, were the questions okay? Did I do like what do I ask? Like,
Mhm.
And I was so nervous. I remember one of my first interviews was Brian Mello. He
Yeah.
was just one Canadian Idol, and I went to do the story, and I didn't know what to ask him. And I was so nervous, And I'm practicing questions and I'm writing them down. But then my producer's like, why are you stressing? Like, just ask what comes to your mind.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'm like, okay. And then we just have a conversation. Let them talk.
Interesting. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Make them say what they want to say.
Yeah.
And you've spoken to a lot of famous people, important people. Do you have any of these interviews that stick with you? Some of your most favorite? I know you've done probably hundreds.
God, I can't really remember.
But there's got to be a few, at least one or two moments. Anything candid that happened while interviewing? You know, anyone fall in the water? You know.
Oh my, I can't remember off the top of my head now. Okay.
Okay.
You should have prepared me. I would have had better
This
answers.
is what it's all about. Maybe I have to get better questions for him.
No. I had better answers. I don't know if anything's spontaneous happened like that off the bat. But the first president of Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
of the Azores Islands, I got to interview.
What's his name?
Mota Maral.
Okay.
And he's an interesting man,
And
he's got a lot of stories.
okay.
I don't know. Chris Rock kind of stepped into my head there because of Tiff, who was here in town.
You
for
interviewed
Toronto.
Chris Rock.
Yeah,
So
for
there we
Toronto
go.
Film
That's big.
Festival.
That's big.
And
How was that? Were you starstruck?
Yeah, it was like, holy shoot, it's Chris Rock.
And you know, you speak to all these people with climate or important in their respective fields. How do you prepare yourself for something like that? You know, do you get?
I mean, I do get starstruck. I don't,
Mhm.
you know, I want to get those selfies, and I want to, want to get that interview.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to. You got to put yourself on their level,
Okay.
almost, or put them on your level, kind of thing. Just they're a human being too,
Yeah.
right? So you can't just go with like that mentality of like, oh my God, they're famous, and you just gotta ask them normal questions like, what do they do for fun? What are your hobbies? Like,
Yeah.
make them sound real.
One
Or
thing.
relatable, I guess.
Yeah. Like it's not scripted,
No.
and that's why people. It's not.
Yeah,
like-
unscripted interviews are a lot better, I find. I mean, I'm getting better at them with 9 years experience.
Mhm.
I'm getting a lot better at unscripted interviews versus the paper questions. Because I used to ask them, and then they're like, oh, and they have to think about their questions. If you just kind of ask, like, hey, what are you doing? Do you have an album coming out? That sort of thing.
They're so used to those scripted questions that
Yeah.
it's kind of nice and refreshing
Yeah.
when you ask them something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And one thing about yourself is that I've known you for a long time and growing up is that you're not shy.
No.
Matthew will ask for the selfie.
Yeah.
Matthew will.
Yeah.
Like anywhere in a crowded airport, in a restaurant, in an airplane, anywhere, he will ask for the selfie. Maybe 10, 20 years back, he would ask for the autograph.
Right.
Now the selfie,
Yes,
yeah,
now it's the
like,
selfies, the selfie wall, selfie. Because there's a mentality if you have to register it. If you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen.
If you went on vacation and you didn't take a picture,
Yeah,
did you even go?
yeah, I know. And
Did you go? Does it count? Like
It does, and I see people and I have people that go on vacation. They don't take pictures while they're there. They'll only post when they come back, which is fine. I understand that people don't want to know that they're away. Things can happen, you know. But me, I'm constantly like taking that picture, what I'm doing, where I am, what I'm eating, and it's that millennial generation too, right? Everybody does that nowadays with the phone. We're Snapchatting everything, literally everything. Some people do way too much. But
what's too much? What's the boundary?
And that's the whole thing of reality TV nowadays, though. What is reality?
It's true.
Everybody's constantly filming something, doing something and it's a little bit to the extreme.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm not that much. A little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm somewhere, if I'm traveling, yeah, I'm gonna be constantly posting. But on a day-to-day, I'm not too bad.
Matthew got his selfie stick confiscated at
I
Disney.
did at Disneyland in California.
And you had two of them, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a professional one, and then I have the $5 one, and it was the $5 one that I brought to Disney that day, thankfully.
Came prepared.
And Mickey Mouse took it away.
You see what I mean? So he's prepared.
Yeah.
And I think, like we said, in this day and age, everyone's posting everything, and that's kind of our way of keeping in contact with people, and right?
Yeah.
It's like I haven't texted someone in months, but I'm watching their Instagram, their Snapchats, maybe their Twitter posts, and I feel connected. Why do you think that is?
We allow ourselves to be a part of their lives almost, and then people can put whatever they want. People's lives can look like they're $1 million lives, but yet they're struggling, or they have perfect families and they're struggling. Like it's your life is whatever you make of it online.
I mean, we only see what we want others to see.
Yeah.
I mean, we might see someone on...
We all live through, rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, yeah. And we might see someone on a beautiful trip, like on a cruise, right? And they're enjoying it. And you see all this beauty of them on the beach, them seeing all this beautiful stuff. What we don't see, that person might have stayed at home for 6 months.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
Watching
how much
Netflix.
They worked to raise money to go on that trip,
or how much they just did nothing.
Yeah.
Their life, how boring their lives or their lives were, whatever.
Yeah.
But you only get to see a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
And celebrities are like that too. They're living this A-list life, but that's an expensive lifestyle. They work hard for it, so yes, they get to enjoy it. And they have cameras in their faces 24/7. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them when I met Ronaldo.
Yep, he did.
I did. Cristiano Ronaldo. New Year's Eve, 2017 to 2018. It's the highlight of my life career so far, I guess I could say. And I was one of them. I was trying to get that perfect shot. I wanted to sell it to TMZ, that New Year's Eve kiss shot, but it didn't happen. And everybody wanted to take a selfie with him. And I was one of them. I went to his security and I politely asked, can I get a selfie? Like, I'll do it, discreetly. But they said, no, if we do it for you, we got to do it for the 700 people that are here.
It's true.
And then I was filming him, and I got a few video shots and a few pictures on my phone here and there, and a little selfie as he walked by me, but he didn't pose for it.
Of course.
And I could see how he was annoyed. He's with his family. He wants to just chill back and, enjoy New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're constantly, every single day, everything they do. They're kids. Like, I even asked, I was playing with his son, and he's a cool, just, young, 10-year-old he is, and playing soccer in the lobby. And I was respectful. I didn't take a picture with him. Other people were.
Have you seen the video of Ronaldo going out for tea?
No.
So it's a little video of he goes, and it's scripted. Not scripted in a sense, but he knows what he's doing. He's going out for tea in Spain, and he sits at a restaurant. And like you can count how many people. It's like bing picture, bing picture. It's nonstop. Like
wow.
Every 2 seconds, you can't even drink the tea because of that. So you can see from a celebrity standpoint how that can get be frustrating.
Yeah.
You want to kind of, and as you can see them the reason why they say no.
Yeah.
Right. But that didn't stop you. You didn't get Ronaldo, but you got a picture with his mom, right?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, his mom's a really nice lady.
Of course she is,
She
right?
posed and got a few pictures with her.
Yeah, so there we go. I mean, celebrities, actors, sports people, they're normal too. So, I'm not saying if it's someone that you admire, go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough to say.
Yeah, throughout TIFF, you can kind of see which celebrities are humble and will take photos with people. And I think one celebrity, now I can't remember her name, Emma Stone, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
Was eating her pizza, and so she came out of her limo with her pizza and like put it down to go and take photos with her fans.
That's amazing.
Because they were waiting. She goes, "You guys are waiting here hours and hours just to get that photo." So yeah, I'm gonna pose and take pictures with you guys. And she had conversations. She was talking. So there's celebrities like that are so humble, and there's other ones that just like, I think it was Michael Fassbender that was here, that just like took a decoy to not have to take pictures with people, or puts themselves like, oh, I don't want to be bothered, like I'm too important.
I've dealt with that too.
Yeah.
I've worked in retail for high-end luxury retail for many years, and I've seen Bieber, I've seen Selena Gomez, I've seen how much their presence can affect people.
Yeah.
Where it was up to a point where I've heard Justin Bieber say, "Hey guys, like, are you here to shop, or are you here to take pictures of me?" Like, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and because you can tell him, he's like, "Tell him to stop taking pictures of me," right? And you know, you can see how much it weighs on him. And you know, 2 years after that, I was actually in an elevator with him. What?
You didn't take a picture, Victor?
No, I didn't take a picture with him. Like, I know you would ask.
Yeah.
But I was with two friends of mine, and we were staying on the same floor as Bieber at a hotel with his family.
It's the same as Ronaldo. Yeah.
And he said, "You know what? Thank you guys." He said, "Thank you." He said, "Thank you." He's like, "Hey man, thank you for being cool." And we didn't say anything to him.
I would have said, "You're welcome. Can I now get the picture?"
You know, we looked at him and we kind of give him like the nod, like we know who you are.
Yeah.
But we didn't say, "Hey man," you know, any big. Just let him be.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like, "Thanks guys, like it means a lot." Like you can see the genuine of that. And you know, that's the next level. He's probably one of the most recognizable people in the world.
Yeah.
And you know, it's.
Is it too late for you to say sorry and get that picture?
I know you would. So there we go.
Definitely would have. I mean, I don't obviously to the limits. I don't go to the extreme. Won't do anything illegal to get a photo. Although I have. I'll tell that story. The Prime Minister, the President of Portugal, Portuguese Republic, was here. First visit officially to Canada. And I went as media to an event that he was at. And he wasn't taking any photos with anybody. He was just, you know, only his photographers would take photos. And it was the last day. Yep. So it was a 3-day event, and the first day, okay, I didn't get that picture. I didn't want to do it. Nobody else was doing it. Second day, the last day, like 2 minutes before he was getting his limo to go to the airport, tons of security around. I like snuck under a red velvet rope.
Okay.
And passed the security, and I'm like, Snoopsy, can I have this photo? And I'm like, smile. And he literally smiled. And that photo went viral. RTP was filming it. His security just laughed. Yeah. They're like, dude, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to hunt you down just because, you know. And he laughed it off. He's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm so happy that I got that photo.
You always have it?
Yeah, I'll have it. It's there. It's printed. It's on my selfie wall.
He's got a selfie wall of fame.
Wall of fame. Yeah.
So that's another aspect where it says, you know, push a little bit of the boundaries. And there's a Drake quote. It says, "Don't ask permission, just ask forgiveness."
Yeah.
I've seen Matthew in places we shouldn't have been, and he's like, "Hey, you can't record." "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know." "Oh,
yeah.
But he knew.
Let's not just publicly say that.
No, but he knew. He knew. And you know, it's all about pushing boundaries sometimes in life. Obviously not too much, but yeah, like if you're not willing to risk it, you're gonna if you play it's safe. That's another thing about success.
True. Yes. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, you're right. That does have a lot to do with success. Playing it safe and taking risks. And anything you do, you need to take risks.
If you're scared of criticism, it's tough.
Yeah.
You really have to.
And which I am, to be honest. I am. There's yes, I'm out there. I'm on television, you know, whatever, personality. But personally, yeah, I take a lot to heart. It's as you grow older, you tend to like not give a shit anymore. Can I say shit on your radio show?
Yeah, we're online. We can say whatever we want. We're good.
Yeah, you just kind of have to just not care. Which is hard, right? And there's people that are more sensitive and they're not. But yeah, every day it's like, oh my God, what is this person going to say? What is this person going to say? Like, you just have to do you.
It's true. And, you know, in being successful and putting yourself out there, not everyone is going to agree with what you have to say.
And you may think you're successful, but others don't.
Exactly. And it's okay if they don't agree
It's all
with
about interpretation, right?
Exactly. It's okay if someone doesn't like what you're saying or who you are or anything along
And
those
people aren't going to
lines.
like you. That's something I also learned growing up and took the hard way too, is that because I aimed to police during my teenage years and the volunteering and everything, and it's like you're not gonna not everybody's going to like you.
Exactly. A friend to all is a friend to none. That's what they say. I don't know.
Okay.
I just think you can't please everyone.
No.
And people are gonna not like you for whichever reason, and that's hard for me to kind of like you.
Yeah,
where
same.
People
Yeah.
pleaser, want everyone to like us.
Yeah.
But it's not viable.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously you can't
And,
vibe
and,
with
and
everyone.
I'm obviously not looking at my Instagram and saying, this person didn't double tap. Why didn't they double tap my photo? Why didn't they like my photo? You just can't. You can't just stop giving a shit.
Yeah.
There's way more important things in life than that.
So, in addition to that, how do you take people saying no, whether it is for yourself? I know you've done a lot of fundraising and selling and asking people for money. Hey, can you donate to our scholarship fund? And I've heard a great quote that says, the sale only starts when you hear no. So you're going to get that initial no.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Matthew Correia, and I'm calling from the...
It used to take me a while to do, calling from the Federation, calling from the Casa Sur, calling from wherever, asking for money. And I used to first take it personally, like, oh, no, that person's saying no. But then you have to, somebody just told me, like, what's the worst they can say? What's the worst they can do?
Yeah.
They say no.
I learned that from you. You're like, yeah, he says no, my life's still good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And this guy asked, he asked the president of SATA,
Yeah.
which is an airline. Can you tell us a little bit more what you asked him for?
Oh, what he's gonna if he's listening to this or watching this, he's gonna say, "What don't I ask for?"
Yeah,
Wow. But I asked for a trip to the Azores for business to get a scholarship for the University of the Azores for my work, and they agreed. They said yes.
So he literally called the president and said, "Hey, I need a flight to and from Portugal, and I need it complimentary."
Yeah.
And they made it happen.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Because what's the worst they can say? No.
Exactly.
Right.
And most people,
There was a business intent.
yeah,
It's promotion for them.
he's offering value. He's not
Yeah.
just sucking value. He's offering value. So he's saying, I'm going to put this in a good light for you.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously no one would do that if you didn't see that, right?
Yeah.
So hearing no and bouncing from that, how do you do that?
You pick up and move on. Find somebody else. If SATA says no, then go to TAP, which I've done.
Yeah.
TAP is another airline that goes to Portugal just recently. But that's the worst they can do is no. Right? Fundraising is the hardest thing. And I have to give credit to everybody that fundraises because it's not easy.
It's sales.
Yeah. And sales, the exact same thing. Yeah.
And you know
We
what?
need to take a commercial break because I got to go soon.
Okay, we can go. We'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, so
5
we're
minutes?
back with the third part pretty soon.
Yes.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. Okay. What are some things you can't live without? What do you need on a day-to-day basis?
My phone.
Which one? You always have two phones.
I have two phones, but the iPhone.
Okay.
And I was a BlackBerry person forever, but now just can't stand them. Apple everything. Yeah, phone definitely.
Cool fact about you: Matthew has never let his phone die. So he's never let his phone die ever. So his iPhone, he's got an iPhone 7 Plus. He's got a charging case for his iPhone.
You never have too many batteries.
And then he's
battery
got,
packs.
exactly, and that's become from being prepared and from your.
Yeah.
So he's got a charging
Well,
case.
but with social media, right, and with I guess the line of work that I do, where you're constantly online, or you constantly have to respond to an email, or you have to post something, you don't want that phone to die.
What's a percentage that gives you anxiety? Like when you get to what percent?
40.
40%.
Yeah, that's low power mode right there.
See, 40%.
Save it until I can, and then go.
And then he gets the charger
And then I get
case
the
out,
case
and he's
in,
got the
yeah.
battery pack. He's got everything.
Yeah.
So, guys, learn from Matthew, because you'll never miss a shot if your phone is full, if you have battery. Imagine, we've all happened.
Yeah.
We all had that happen
And the
where it's
light,
like, oh, my
there's-
phone's died. Oh,
There's
my phone's
lights
dead.
now. Actually, I've learned from people at TIFF when they were taking their celebrity photos. They actually add a light to their phone so you get better quality on the pictures. Like there's
there we
people
go.
that are hardcore out there. You don't think I'm hardcore? There's people out there
That
that they
learns.
want that photo. They're good.
And I think we're going to have to wrap it up soon. But this is a question I got from Tim Ferriss from his book, Tool of the Titans. And this is one of my favorite things. And he asks, what's one thing under $100 that you'd recommend everyone to buy? Something that's you use, something that's give a lot of value to you. Nothing, it doesn't have to be expensive. Just something that most people don't have or could use.
I don't. Oh, that's.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna answer for Matthew and say
that's
charger
funny.
case.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that just because we're on the same topic.
But what else? Yeah, there has to be something else. What's something you carry in your bag? Oh, it's charger case probably.
Yeah.
Battery
yeah,
pack.
Battery pack. A
So
charger
guys,
case.
yeah.
A charger.
Charger.
Yeah.
Charger case.
Charger case.
Battery pack.
I guess a token for a TTC for
He doesn't take the
interview.
TTC.
I don't take TTC. I take Uber.
There we go. Yeah. So I
That's a
think
hard question.
I think his
But-
answer was
But yeah, okay.
was
charger
battery
phone,
pack.
Since we're on the same topic.
charger phone, battery pack. So moral of the story is never let your phone die. You don't know what you're gonna miss. You don't know who you're gonna see. You might want that selfie. And yes, I think we gotta go. But this was a nice little kind of learning experience.
Yeah.
You know, for myself. Matthew's been a
Me
great
too.
sport.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me on your first show.
yes, it's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
too,
sir.
Cousin. Thank you.
All right.
Ciao
Right.
for now.
Ciao for now.
All right.
That was fun.
That's good.
How'd you feel about it?
That's good. I like it.
Yes.